welcome to Arcade Couch, the best place to join your friends and get your gaming goodness each and every Monday. My name's Dylan Blight. Joining me on the couch this week, Ashley Hodley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here in another exciting, massive week of gaming.
Have you been gaming?
I have been.
Been gaming good?
Pretty good.
Gaming up a storm?
Not that much.
Feeling like a little gamer boy over there, making you feel young at heart?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good. It's good to hear. You love video games?
Oh, yeah.
Such enthusiasm. Jesus Christ. Today on the show, I've got a Disney game to talk about. We've got some PAX Oz indie games to talk about. More of David of the Diving. Makes it sound religious. David of the Diving. David. Firstly, Disney Illusion Island. This is an interesting one. So I'll cut straight to the crux of it, basically. So I gave it a 5. I wrote in my review, I said I was playing Disney Illusion Island to reach the next charming cutscene of dialogue interaction between Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy. With uninspired level design, I sometimes played the game in a zoned out trance, just mindlessly going through the actions but not caring about what I was doing on screen. Families can get more out of this as an entry-level Metroidvania. Still, even as much as the game succeeded in charming me at times with the core characters, it's hard to recommend this to anyone over the many of a Nintendo Switch exclusive 2D platformers. Now, this game I'm joined by a couple of people in the lower end. I definitely feel like I'm in the lowest of score ends. But there's been some high scores, 9s, 8s, stuff like that. I'm saying floating around. Saw Tim Geddes from Kind of Funny. I didn't listen to the podcast, but I saw like a clip where he said it was like, gave it 5 on their scale or whatever. Wild to me. Absolutely wild. So if you... I'll jump straight into what this game is if people don't know, because like obviously it was announced, and then I think for a lot of people it's like, oh, this came out of nowhere. They didn't do a lot of promo for it, I didn't feel, but so Disney Illusion Island is a Metroidvania. It's definitely a like entry level Metroidvania, which isn't my problem. It's a Mickey Mouse game. Like I didn't expect this to be fucking super challenging. Anything. You can play it in co-op. You can play with up to 4 players, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, all at the same time. You can swap, get out of the game, come back in, switch at any point. So I jumped around, played all those different characters. There's no like benefit to playing as anyone. It's just choice sort of thing. The story is fun, but of course it doesn't really matter. It's just a bunch of MacGuffins to get you from one point to another, like most Metroidvanias. It's got these like secret books that the characters you're trying to get to help save these other critters. But it's a lot of fun. Like the biggest praise I can give the game is I laughed out loud during a lot of the cutscenes. I thought the cutscenes were, they're fully voice with the whole cast and everything like that. It's super charming when it's firing on its like story front. So I really liked a lot of it makes fun of Donald Duck a lot. So if you're a big Donald Duck supporter, he's sort of the end of a lot of jokes in this game, but nonetheless. Goofy is dumb as all hell, which I love. I love a good Goofy's dumb, and I played as him for the majority of the game. So Metroidvania aspect of it is it boils it down to the most simplistic of Metroidvanias. And I mean, you can't get across this area, you need to unlock a wall jump. You can't get across this area, you gotta unlock like the double jump. Can't get across this area, you gotta unlock the grapple hook thing. It's just like slowly feed you these abilities as you go out. And the problem I found with the game, and like I was enjoying it for the first hour, I was like, but then a lot of like as pretty and as vibrant as the colors are, and like I played the majority of this on my Switch OLED, like it's a Switch exclusive game. I played the majority of this in handheld and it looks gorgeous, like the colors pop, especially in those cutscenes on the handheld. But just the sort of going for this very this art style of like wacky designs and everything, I don't know if it was supposed to help it all pop out more and be more interesting, because to me what I found is a lot of the areas, they just all blended together. There was no like big differing factor. Like if you think about all the good Metroidvanias, it's like this is the like each zone interconnected Metroidvania, they'll still stand out. Like, and even if you have like something like a sewer, which in a game is never, sewer area is never really super interesting, but having a sewer area in a Metroidvania quite often differentiates it from the main town area or the forest area or what have you. Like, all of this just fucking blended together, and I just really struggled to get engaged in the world design as is. And the gameplay, as much as I appreciate it is for entry level Metroidvania, obviously targeted mostly families playing together, my argument for anyone going, yeah, but it's for kids, is I love a good like entry level, like I love Kirby game, you know, like the Kirby's that have last come out. I played the 2D Kirby, played the 3D Kirby. I think both of those games are entry level platforming games, and they're fantastic because it is consistently engaging in its gameplay. Now, of course, it's super easy for me as an adult playing them, but I find it so much fun. This game was just so numb. It was just like so, I guess, tick boxy in the core basics, and I really struggled to find this to be a super fun game, and especially when it's a Switch exclusive, I just find it so hard to go, well, this is what you should be playing. It's like, well, just like Kirby's right there, like there's a million
Mario's
Mario
right
games,
there.
like Mario's right there. I'm just like it's a Metroidvania, but not even it's not a good Metroidvania. Like and almost to the degree, like I point out in my review, there's a level further, like towards the end of the game, where like the whole cast gets like sort of swept away and sucked away to this basically what is a self-contained level, and at the end of it you do this section where you have to run away as it's sort of collapsing, and you have to do like an actual degree of like platforming and whatever else to get through it. And I was like, oh, this was fun. Like, maybe this game would have been a lot better as just a basic 2D platform
if it was more Mario than Metroidvania.
Yes, I feel like the Metroid, like trying to make this Metroidvania sort of, I don't know what stage of development that choice was made from the start or at some point, but I feel like trying to do it is, I think it just would have been a much better game if it was just a 2D Mickey game with the same exact art style, but they could change up the look between levels and just go wild and crazy and have your typical, just do the normal shit, ice zone, or tree, forest zone, I don't care, whatever. Anyway, have you seen any of the reviews popping up for this one? Was you interested? Like,
I saw a couple. Like, obviously, it's sitting at a 75 on OpenCritic. You do have the second lowest, tied with Checkpoint Gaming at 5 out of 10. Oh, I guess Final Weapon's got a 2.5. Lowest is was 2 out of 5 given by The Guardian. But it's got like a 9.5, 3 9.5s by different outlets and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. I mean, the highest selling point was always the art style of the game. But to hear it's like not terribly engaging, I think, not terribly exciting. It's interesting, like the discussion, like, oh, it's a kid's game. It doesn't need to be
fun.
It needs to. It's just a kid's game, you know. You can let it, you know. You don't have to treat it so harshly, you know.
Yeah.
But standards, you know.
I don't feel that's any different. I say a million times when we talk about reviewing anything, a bit movies, TV shows, games, whatever. Like, to me, whenever I'm reviewing something, I'm basing it on what it is. Like, I'm not comparing it to anything else, really. You know? Like, so if it's trying to be a kid's game or an entry level family game, then it's just, is it doing that well? Like, not, you know, like, is it doing what it sets out to do well? And in my opinion, no, because I'm fucking bored. You know, like, like to put it as sort of blunt as that is, it's just.
You played it by yourself. Do you think it would be more fun with more people?
I think you would, like a lot of times we say, for anything that has complaints, playing it with other people would make up for some of it, because at least then you'd not be noticing as many of you'd be talking to people, which means that you probably wouldn't be as zoned out you wouldn't be numbed by the uneventfulness and the art style sort of just blending together at some point, which was, I guess, my problem. But at the end of the day, if the only way this game's enjoyable is if you're playing with 4 people, make it so I can't play it by myself. I don't know. Like, I can play this by myself. So it's much as a criticism, you know, like, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to play this by themselves. Like, you know, Even though it is definitely designed as a 4-player.
So there's
or at least
always the four of them on the screen there.
No, that's the thing. They do the whole thing. The character disappears, and then every time you go to talk to a character or a cutscene or anything like that, the other 3 magically appear.
Yeah.
Does that whole thing,
done
which
like
is
the old
fine.
school like Donkey Kong thing, with Diddy
They pop
Kong.
out. Yeah. Well, they basically pop out of your character apparently. So.
Okay.
Yeah, they're sort of all.
It's all party thing. Like in Final Fantasy and everything.
Yeah, Final Fantasy.
Ones,
yeah. Another thing I'll say is they got a bunch of collectibles, of course, which is fine. But even the collectibles were pretty. And I think I spent an extra couple hours on this game than what was necessary, because every time I'd come across like a collectible, I would make sure I can't help it. Like that part of my brain that just has to get collectibles as I see them. But like even the amount of collectibles I got towards the end of the game, none of those were super interesting either. Like I know, like you get to the end of the game, of course, it's like, do you want to go back and get all the stuff? And I was like, nah. In fact, deleting this.
Yeah.
And I would say the last hour is a lot better because there is, and here's that whole thing of like, okay, so it's a entry level game. I do feel like there is elements in the back end of this game where they try and add some stuff that's a little bit more difficult, and I think that's a good idea because that becomes a lot more engaging to play. But I'm like, there's no downside to this because the game has a bunch of difficulty settings so that anyone can play it. So at that stage, I'm like, if you're gonna make the choice of having basically where you can turn on, no, you can not basically, you can legit just turn on like infinite health. You can also choose the amount of hearts your characters have, 1, 2, 3, like easy, normal, hard, I guess, or whatever. If you can do all these things, it's like, why not experiment a little bit more with the difficulty, knowing that if a kid is struggling, they can just add extra health. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, it's there. You don't have to worry. I don't know. So, I don't know. We interesting game. Just interesting discussion. That said, if I could cut out all of the cutscenes and share that with him, because I have so many clips on my Switch that I have no idea what to do. Because every time something funny would happen, I'd hold down and save the clip. I'd know what for because I haven't shared them with anyone. But like every time something made these little clips and moments made me laugh in the game, I was saving them to share with no one. But anyway,
so what you're saying is people should probably just watch the Mickey cartoon instead.
I mean,
because if it's that standard, yeah.
Yes, I think that's what I'm saying. So weird too, because it's made by DLALA Studios, and before this they did the Battletoads remake. I'm like, how do you go from like the Battletoads remake to a family Disney game? You know, like it's such ultra hard, super easy. It's like so weird. All right, let's get into a couple news stories for the week. So, firstly, I want to cover this one because it's just it's like one of the, I don't know, it's such a weird news story, I feel. It's a story that's coming out this week. So, Eurogamer writes, Activision suing TikTok user over Crash Bandicoot and pizza content, which is a headline.
Yep.
They write, Activision is suing music critic and TikTok Anthony Fantano, aka Needle Talk, following an ongoing back and forth regarding pizza slices and Crash Bandicoot trainers. As laid out in the case's legal documents, this dispute all comes from a 19-second audio clip that originated from a video Fantano uploaded about those aforementioned pizza slices. In this TikTok clip from 2021, Fantano reacts to a video of someone else cutting a pizza up into smaller and smaller pieces, saying, "It's enough slices." He yells. Sometime after this TikTok was uploaded and made popular, Activision used the audio clip to promote a pair of Crash Bandicoot-themed trainers in its own TikTok video. Fantano's clip was reportedly made available for commercial use, and the company did not see any issue in using its audio. It was then that this started back and forth between the two parties. On hearing of Activision's promo for the trainers, Fantano contacted the publisher and asked for them to remove the video. The TikToker then demanded Activision pay a settlement for its actions. Following this request, Activision responded and denied it had done anything wrong. It noted the audio had been used before by other content creators and that Fantano had celebrated these inclusions. Blah, 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 blah. Long story short, I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but Activision's in the right.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I guess if you make it publicly, like if it's Creative Commons or whatever,
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you upload a clip to TikTok, you can choose if you want other people to be able to use your audio in their stuff or not. Or you can choose not.
Yeah, so Ventano's clip was reportedly made available for commercial use.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you kind of made that fair game. They're free to use it. It's the same as, like, anybody could use, as long as they pay it, like, people can use the, what is it, the photo place that, has all the stock photos, stock images or whatever.
iStock?
Something like that,
I know, yeah.
You know how Simu Liu, like, had a bunch of, like, stock images that he did before he became famous? Like, you could just use those for pretty much anything, if you pay or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. It seems like he went, oh, Activision, they've got money.
Yes.
I'm going to try and get some money out of them.
Yes. That's exactly what I think was happening. So it's very weird to like, I just thought I'd bring it up because we're all shitting on Activision, but I legit think this is a case of we always assume Activision's in the wrong, but this is actually a case of maybe the company can be right every now and then. Like, because, yeah, to me, it is simply he was quite happy with everyone using this fucking audio clip until the second a major corporation used it. And then he thought he was going to have the easiest payday in his life. And now he's got countersuit. And I'm sort of like, well, like, lol, sucks to be you, dude. But, Activision suing Fantano in a bid to prevent the TikTok's own lawsuit from going through. It was requested a court issue a declaratory judgment in its favor, which will award the company its fees and costs in bringing in pursuit to this action. What the fuck? Yeah. So anyway, long story short.
I mean, you can come out and say that you disapprove of the use or whatever, but I don't think you can sue.
No. I mean, the thing is,
Activision's taken it down, and as far as I can tell from a quick Google search, the video is nowhere to be found.
Yeah. As far as I can tell,
the fact that every single article I just clicked on doesn't have a link to Activision's version of the
no one saved
audio,
it.
Means, what damage is done,
It's just really weird because it is like one of those things you get into a little bit of give and take now where, okay, so most video game companies have accepted things like fair use to a degree, like if you're doing
I sure hope he doesn't have any videos of any commercial products on his TikTok.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the give and take. It's like, okay, so you can it's all fine and dandy for content creators, streamers, whatever, to be doing that. And then the second they use something you've chosen to allow other people to use, you want to get paid. Like, I understand you want to get paid, but if you want to get paid, then you should have made the clip private. And if they really wanted to use it, then they would have had to ask you to use it. But you said anyone can use it. And by anyone, they're anyone,
Yep.
So anyway, I just thought I'd include that. So
I mean, Activision could have done a little bit more, like cleared it before they used it in the ad, I guess, would be the only, not that they legally needed to, but I would, just TikTok, do your due diligence.
You click use audio. You paste it on your video. Like, it's part of TikTok's.
So was it a TikTok ad or was it?
It wasn't an ad. It was just they made a TikTok video. The TikTok video was from. I mean, they used it on TikTok promoting something, but
I thought they pulled the audio and like put it on an ad for something. No, it was just TikTok video. Okay, that's just stupid. I hope Activision takes him for all he's worth.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, yeah.
So they used it to promote these Crash Bandicoot themed trainers. However, it's just a TikTok. So they are promoting something, but like it's not. It's just on TikTok. So, like, anyone else could take the audio and promote their own.
It's like
whatever.
Any of these places like use any number of GIFs on their things. The companies coming after them for using the GIFs.
Yeah. So good old Activision.
The power of Microsoft behind them to sue TikTok creators. That's the content I can get behind.
Yeah. This TikTok users.
That's the legal action I can get behind.
Yeah. Get behind that too. All right, let's talk about
nice change of pace for the Activision lawyers.
For a hot second, I was like, "Fucking another Activision story," but I was like, sick of talking about Activision. But I'm like, no, this is different. I can bring this up.
Finally, these lawyers can focus on something else for a little while.
They're gonna make some money back somehow.
Yeah.
All right, so here is, let's go over PAX Oz 2023 Indie Showcase winners have been announced in the video games and tabletop category. Of course, these are a bunch of games that are highlighted. They have their own little area at PAX every year. They're usually pretty popular because, as part of the key advertisement, sort of, they get a push, which is good because it helps out the games that are usually showcased there. They're usually the ones I personally want to play the most because they're always usually super exciting. So, run down the games that have been announced. So first, we have Copycat by Spoonful of Wonder from New South Wales. I've got descriptions for all these from their Steam pages or somewhere, I think. Their description is, a newly adopted shelter cat becomes a victim. I love this description. A newly adopted shelter cat becomes a victim of an elaborate plan when a jealous, stray copycat steals her place in the house. Copycat is the perfect game to cuddle up with on a rainy afternoon. Through branching narrative, wander alleyways, fences, and rooftops, searching for a real family. It's an intimate, magical, and hopeful game that cherishes the human-pet bond in all its forms. The game's colorful visuals delight the senses while exploring the dark emotional depths. I love this idea of this cat just getting fucked over by another cat.
I don't know. This cat gets adopted by a loving family. Who knows how he got to the shelter? It was abused. It was left for dead. It was one of those houses where the lady's got like 900 cats. And she doesn't take care of any of them. And now this cat showed up in this nice home, and then some random street cat's like, "No, I want what you have," and then it's taken over his life.
I don't need to play it now. You just told me everything.
So what's that movie where someone steals somebody else's identity?
Any of the versions of like doppelganger stories?
Yeah,
is that what you mean? Yeah, the many different versions of that story. Yeah. The bad ones.
Not like the Princess and the Pauper, where one's a princess and one's a pauper.
The Double, directed by Richard Ayoade.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Can you play this one?
Sure.
You can play all of them
at PAX. I'll try.
Yeah.
It's try. The only problem with this is now that they've listed all these as like, awarded them as the Indie Showcase winners, it's really going to be difficult to get time with them. All the booths will be full. So my advice to PAX: get multiple systems for these people.
Holy fuck, please.
At least 4.
Well, no. I think that's still on them. I think, right?
I don't know. If PAX is highlighting these things, like elevating
an extra monitor, extra laptop, I don't know.
Yeah, extra laptop, get some, make a deal with Asus ROG, get a bunch of ROG decks out there.
Oh my God. Imagine how fucking, everyone look forward to me being hyped as fuck if I see indie devs with their games on ROG decks at PAX. I'll take pictures of everyone. It's my dream. Fuck the Steam decks. Get out of here.
Need some ROG stickers, to give out.
Yeah, need some ROG stickers, yeah. All right, next game. The Dungeon Experience by Bone Assembly from Victoria. Visit the Dungeon Experience, a thrilling world of high fantasy run by me, a level 1 mud crab turned entrepreneur. Put your real world responsibilities on hold with a guided adventure or work for us. We're hiring. Now, I don't know how to describe this game, to be completely honest. Have you watched this trailer?
No. I'm skipping through it now. And
yeah.
I don't think that's not the best way to take this trailer in, I don't think. There's a
No.
lot of imagery.
Yep. So I'm going to be completely honest. I have no idea how to talk about this game. I feel like everyone should just go watch the trailer because it absolutely looks like insanity, and I cannot wait to try it out. I don't know how you demo these sorts of games that just look like insanity, but I mean, yeah, there's dungeon exploring, but also you're talking to characters. It seems like in the real world. I don't know. There's this dude like who's
Every world.
yeah, and then there's like a table man towards the end who's like holding a table up for some reason, and it looks wild, but in a good way.
Yep.
And I'm keen. It's a great trailer, is what I'll say. I'm gonna go ahead and say I think this is my favorite trailer out of the whole bunch because I'm like, that's a funny trailer. You know, like, I'll pay that. That's a good trailer. Good crab popping up all the time, giving you a little commentary and stuff. Yeah, good shit. Then you still flicking through it?
No, I've moved on to the next one because
Right. Okay, very good. So next one is The Drifter by Pal Hoof from Victoria. It says a pulp. What?
What a name for a studio. Pal Hoof.
Pal Hoof. Pulp adventure thriller. A drifter, murdered, finds himself alive again seconds before his death. Struggling to maintain his sanity, can he unravel the conspiracy surrounding his condition and those haunting him? So this is like it looks like a sort of adventure narrative, that sort of game genre. Really interesting sort of pixel art style and everything that's going on here. I like everything I see about this, and it's a very short trailer. I love that. I love the art style. I love the setup. Very keen. I think this looks great. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, really good art style. I'll be interested to see how the story comes together, which is, you know, the key with it. Clearly seems like a very narratively strong premise, at least. So, yeah, look very cool.
And we got Crash Course Builder by Wombat Brawler from Victoria. Can you make it to the finish line? Crash your cart through impossible obstacle courses that will leave you wanting just one more go. Build your own course to share with others. Crash test dummies. So yeah, this is it's like I mean, not to be redundant, but like the art style, or at least the character art style, reminds me a little bit of Fall Guys. Sort of colorful, squidgy characters, sort of things. But yeah, you're sort of running. It's what do you call it? It looks like
it's like
one of those,
a mobile runner game, but
yes. I was trying to think of the actual genre.
Cart elements.
Yeah. So it's like you're constantly going forward, and then there's these absolutely ridiculously wild levels that I guess I would assume there's going to be some like pre-built, and then the whole idea is like you play others, rate theirs, and then it's built around community aspect of it. It's super fast paced though, and everything like that, and it looks sort of like it's meant to be hard, but like that's part of the charm. That the courses are ridiculous, and I mean the game's called Crash Course and everything like that. At the end, it says it's coming to everything, including like App Store and Google Play and everything like that. And to be honest, like watching it and everything, I'm like, yeah, this looks like something I think I'd nearly prefer just to play on my phone. You know?
Yep.
So that's cool. Can you try this one out? As well. Yeah, and I assume this would be...
It just looks very fast-paced. Like...
Very fast-paced. I think the best thing about this would be if they've got... It's sort of hard because... I mean, ideally, if I was trying to demo this game, you'd have like there's just not enough space, I guess, is the problem. You'd have like a few people able to play it because it looks like the levels don't take long, and I guess that's the...
You have your booth with like 3, I don't know, computers or laptops or whatever.
Yeah.
3 console things.
Phones.
And then
tablets.
You have like a table, like a round table, slightly to the side with a couple of phones, maybe. Or tablet devices.
Yeah. For people to make courses, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you've... Yeah, because I was thinking if you want to do it, like I'd love to be able to play it, but then it would be a really cool story if there was like 1 or 2, like not as many for playing, but a couple where it's like you can spend a little bit more time here, like if you want to try and come up with a course quickly. It would be really cool if one of those courses was like saved in the game and like called the PAX course, like the one that was liked the most, because then you could vote on the courses afterwards, you know?
Yeah. I'm sure they'll do like a race, like time trial thing as well.
Yeah. Win a prize. That'd be a good idea. Look, if you want us to run your PAX
booth.
Just let us know.
Just let us know, and make sure you have unlimited budget.
Yeah, because we got ideas.
We got big ideas.
Dark Web Streamers, the next game. By We've Always Lived in the Forest, South Australia. Now, this has been at PAX before. It's very hard to talk about. The description is a procedurally generated psycho horror streamers simulation game. So I'd never got to play this at PAX last year, even though I wanted to. It was always just very busy.
Always very busy.
Yeah. And every time someone talks about it, writes about it, everyone loves it. So I'm keen, and hopefully this year, and it's moved up from just the indie section to the showcase section as our next game here as well. So good signs. But yeah, I mean, it's a narrative choice text adventure, but not because there's also pictures and stuff. I don't know. It's a game. It looks weird. It looks wild. I'm very keen. I love the whole idea. But yes, I would love to be able to play it this year. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, it evokes, what was it, Pony Island?
Pony Island. That's exactly what I was trying to think of. Pony Island.
Yeah.
That's a very good, yes. Yeah. Fucking 100% Pony Island. What a game. And then finally, as with well, hold on. I might run through the tabletop once afterwards, actually. Fuck it. The final video game, Primordial's Legends Hollow Hero by Toybox Game Studios from Victoria. So we did play this last year at PAX, now moved up to the indie showcase section. Description is Primordial Legends Hollow Hero tells the tale of Brunt, an anthropomorphic wombat on her first adventure in the fancy world, Airedale. Embark on this epic third-person action-filled adventure, uncover how this world came to be, and meet new legends that will help shape the future of Airedale. Great character. Love the world. Love the design, everything. Obviously, you could tell what was played last year was very early. It wasn't like super rough, pretty to an extent of like what you would expect and everything like that. The developers were talking about having this like large world and like it's called Primordial Legends because they want to do all these other games. Hopefully, knock wood, with their different characters and the unit. They have such big ideas, is what you could tell, and hopes and dreams and stuff like that. But yeah, I really like the character of Brunt and everything like that. Basically, it was playing like it's a third-person action game that like she could do heavy attacks, light attacks. There was some level of puzzles and stuff that I did in the demo. I mean, I hope/assume there'll be a different demo here, this year, which would be cool as well. But yeah, but this game's sort of one of my ones I've been most keen on, like out of Australia, at least that for the last couple of years. That hasn't come out yet so far. You never played it, right? You just watched me?
No, I played it.
Play?
Yeah,
Okay.
we did a whole video on it. You can check it out at explosion.com/PAXOz22. You can find it there. Yeah, I remember, it was fun, like the small portion that we got to play. I think it was pretty lengthy.
It's like 20-minute demo, I feel, yeah.
I think so, yeah. I'm just glad they're still working on it because obviously, they had it there. They had a Kickstarter.
Kickstarter
didn't get fulfilled, but clearly they had enough positive reaction and probably, I would suspect, probably got some funding from elsewhere that allowed them to keep going on it after the video of it kind of went viral from memory.
It's sort of interesting because we heard them talking about the Kickstarter because we played it on the last day, I think. The Kickstarter, and I remember we checked the Kickstarter and was like, damn, it didn't. It was like, it's probably not going to hit it. And I remember checking it later that night when it was over and be like, that sucks. I hope the game, I hope the game doesn't fall through. Kind of expected that's what would happen, to be completely honest. Not in like a bad way, but just because, life.
That's how these things go, yeah.
That's how these things go. So, yeah, really happy to see it's continued on. I'm wondering if they'll try and launch another Kickstarter. That would be smart.
I think they've probably got, like, third-party funding or something,
Yeah?
Yeah.
That would be cool, I guess, as well.
I'm sure they've got some sort of deal with somebody. Hopefully. For their sake.
Maybe. I don't recall them. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't recall seeing them get funding from... they weren't one of the major games that got funding from Screen Australia, at least that I remember, of the last round. I don't think. So maybe they've got some because it's a grant. So maybe they got some more through that.
They decided to back themselves,
Yeah. Yep, so that's the video games. Let's run through quickly the selection of board games that are there. So there's 4 board games that are going to be of the indie showcase. Of course, these aren't right next to the video game ones. You have to go over to the tabletop section, which is through to the other side of PAX. They have the sort of, you'll find them, they've got like a little poster up and all that sort of stuff that says they're the indie showcase ones. They have much like the games, they have their own little area to separate them. So the first one is Boba Master by Quokka Games. Love that dev name. From Queensland. Boba Master is a very engaging card game about making bubble tea. It's full of action, easy to pick up, and gets rowdy very quickly. Steal from your opponents and force them to make mistakes. Stir up the game by swapping hands or even swapping bubble teas. Be the first to complete your bubble teas and become the Boba Master. I think this game looks really cool. I watched some of these have trailers, some of them have how-to videos I've shared in the article that you can find on explosionnetwork.com. The card art and everything on this I thought looked really cool and cute as well. Obviously the Quokka design and everything like that.
Yeah, I think they had that Yumcha game last year. So
yes, that's the same.
So similar aesthetic and looks interesting.
This will be out by the time PAX is out up too. So they're like shipping. You can pre-order now, and I think it says it's shipping late August, September, something like that. So, and I assume that means you'll be able to buy it on the floor. That would make sense.
Imagine so. Yeah.
Try and buy. Then you got Kingless Festival of Explosions by 219 from Tasmania. So Kingless is a fast-paced and easy-to-learn card game designed to capture the imagination. You'll compete against 1 to 5 friends in snappy 20-minute games. The goal is to obtain the highest influence to become king, earning an advantage in the next round. I heard about this ages ago because Adam from Well Played reviewed it like a few months ago, I think, when they like sent him I don't know, it's Tassie. They probably just knocked on his door and gave him a copy of the game to try out. I don't know.
They went to his shop and then went, hey, do you want a card game?
Yeah, maybe. So, very fantasy influence, like basic sort of stereotypical, dwarven characters and all that sort of fun stuff. Really cool. This one's been out for a little while now, so you can purchase it. As I said, like the reviews are already up and stuff like this. But I'm not going to complain about a Tassie studio getting highlighted on a bigger stage at PAX. That's cool. Then we got Saltfish and Alamax by Storm Brewers Role Playing in New South Wales. Saltfish and Almanacs is a storytelling RPG about a merchant company embarking on their yearly journey through new and familiar places. You and your fellow merchants travel in different directions around the same route, experiencing life on the road and discovering the mark that others have made on their visit. So this is a very sort of chill, like obviously it's a sort of a communal game aspect to it. I really like the art on a bunch of the pieces and cards and stuff like that in the box itself. I haven't had a chance to watch the full I watched the basic how to play one, but I think there's a longer one they have up on the YouTube channel already, so I might put that on in the background another time. But yeah, this looks really cool as well. And then the final game, not much on it because they're only about to launch their Kickstarter for it, so there's like no videos, not much information. But anyway, Alien Frenzy by Comet Squid from Victoria. It says, Earth is about to be overrun. Dust off that tin foil hat and prepare for the fight of your life. This wildly chaotic and competitive card game is played through 2 phases. The preparation phase followed by the invasion phase. If at any point during invasion phase you run out of character cards, you're eliminated from the game. It's last player standing wins. So, yeah, I mean, there's art that's available. The Kickstarter launch is coming soon. You can sign up to be notified of when that's coming. But yeah, it's hard for me to say exactly what the game is, but yeah, it's a reactionary sort of card-based game.
Card game.
It's a card game. And I do love myself a card game. So keen to see more of that one before or even at PAX, I guess. So that is everything from the PAX Indie Showcase winners that are announced. Of course, all those, again, you can play at PAX Australia. We're not paid by PAX Australia. I just like to promote PAX Australia. We'll be there.
You can confirm PAX we'll Australia. Be there.
Can confirm we will be at PAX Australia. Did I say PAX? Australia. Playing indie games, hopefully. And if any of the devs of any of those games are listening to the show miraculously and you want to save me some time, feel free to just reach out and let me play those demos ahead of time. I will happily get a preview ready to go and save myself the dealing with the fucking public, make me wait long. How dare you?
Wow.
They know who I am. So I want to talk about Pikmin 4 in a minute, which I've been playing. But firstly, Ash.
Yep.
Let's talk Dave the Diver, because you've played this shit a lot in the last week.
I don't know if I've done well. Let me have a quick look.
I had a look at your Steam counter just before, and I think you've played it more than me now. So
have I?
Yeah.
Okay, I've put 16.8 hours in the last 2 weeks. So
yep, decent effort. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Obviously, we've talked about it. Each of us have talked about it individually. A game in which you play a diver who goes fishing with your harpoon gun into the ocean with a procedurally generated ocean, I guess, collecting fish to serve in a sushi restaurant, which you also work in at the end of the day. But, there's all these other elements. There's this mystery around sea people. There's the potential to catch all. You have to collect all the fish in this weird Pokédex system. You upgrade your weapons, upgrade your tank, your storage facilities, all this other stuff. There's all these random characters, including this random, all these eco terrorists, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. It's weird. It's also a lot of fun. The amount of time you played, surely you've got to the part I told Kieran about where it just goes into a visual novel for half an hour, right? Or it gives backstory to the chef and flicks back to the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Days.
Yeah.
Yeah. This game just does everything. They're like, yeah, it's a visual novel.
It does everything. Have you gotten up to the rhythm?
No, I haven't. So you're definitely ahead of me. So
okay, yeah, I'm ahead of you then. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Lots of elements. It's super fun just to dive down, catch a bunch of fish, complete a bunch of tasks. Yeah, a lot of depth. Obviously, there's a lot of management element to it as well. You start building up, you get a fish farm where you can stick a bunch of fish in there and they breed and shit. And you're having to start building an actual farm, growing crops and that kind of stuff. But it's not like an actual farming simulator, so it's not that. Don't get too concerned, No. But yeah, you building up how good your dishes do, how you make them more expensive and taste better and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot of fun. It might be my game of the year so far.
I feel like my favorite thing about this fucking game is coming on here, talking about it briefly. I think for a couple minutes of I've been playing this game. It's really good, but fucking whatever. And
the word of mouth around this game. It's crazy.
It's the word. I've seen the word of mouth spread on the internet, but it's also just whatever's been happening on the internet has also happened within this podcast. Because it's slowly, within a couple of weeks, it's infected Kieran. Now it's got you.
Yeah, I knew I had at some point I had to bite the bullet because we get into a very busy period, gaming wise, in the next month. So. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
How much better is it than Final Fantasy 16?
I've not touched that game in over a month. Yeah, I'm really, clearly I started playing it this morning. 5 hours went by. That's what happened.
That's what happened.
That's
what can happen. Yeah, fair enough.
It's very funny. It's emotional at times. It's crazy.
Anime cutscenes, basically.
Crazy anime cutscenes.
Yeah, when you make food. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's sort of a if you, I swear to God, if you listen to this podcast and you're not playing, if you haven't even thought about playing Dave,
if you haven't even looked at what Dave the Diver is,
because we've now talked about it, I feel 4 or 5 weeks in a row.
Then clearly you don't own a PC. I'm guessing that's the only reason I can give that you haven't looked into Dave the Diver yet.
Yeah. It's a wild game, but yeah, I think I'm trying to think. It's hard to say. It's definitely one of my favorite, if not my game of the year. I've been playing something else this week instead, which I'll talk about in a second. Well, no, I was playing a lot of Mickey Mouse, and then I wish I was not game of the year. I wish I had been playing fucking Dave the Diver. What I started playing this week is so my story for this is I think at some stage last year I must have bought, on the Switch that they do this thing where you can buy like 2 passes for games, like for a cheaper price than buying the game separately, and then you can redeem those passes for games. Have you seen these before?
Sure.
They're for big games. So, like, you can redeem them for a lot of the first-party Nintendo games or whatever. I can't remember the official title. Anyway, I think around Christmas time last year, they had these passes for a little bit cheaper. And I was like, fuck it. I'll grab those. Don't know what to use on, but I'll figure that out later. And then this week, I got a notification or an email. I can't remember if it was an email or pop-up. Anyway, I got a notification somewhere that was like, hey, you've got these passes you still haven't used or anything. Do you want to use it on Pikmin? I was like, oh yeah, completely forgot I purchased those. That's a good idea. Why not? I've been saying for the past few months, every time we talk about Pikmin and a Nintendo Direct, I'm like, this Pikmin game looks pretty fun. I've never played one. Maybe I'll try out Pikmin 4. So anyway, redeemed the pass, got Pikmin 4. Been playing that. I'm loving Pikmin 4. I'm having a great time. I've been playing. I've been taking it at work. Playing at work much. Like I've taken a bit of a break from my Rug Deck and Dave Diver at the moment to I switched from the sea to the land. When my Pikmin 4 action. But so for me, as someone who's never played a Pikmin game, and if you're listening and never played a Pikmin game, it's like, what is Pikmin? So the game, and I don't know if this is the same in any of the others, no fucking idea, don't really care. But the story in this game is like, you play as these little dudes who are from another planet, and anyway, their captains got lost on this planet, which is, of course, Earth. And it's Earth because of the shape and the colors and the objects and the houses and the fucking, there's some weird critters and stuff you come across, but you'll also come across like a Game Boy SP, and apparently that's a treasure. Sure. But they're like, we got to find our captain, and then you get there. And my only negative so far for this game is it's one of those games that gives you like the first hour is just like a prolonged series of tutorials, one after another, and you're just like, let me play the game. Like, I'm sick of reading about what to do. Just let me play the fucking game. But anyway, eventually you get past all that sort of shit, the million tutorials, and then you're playing the game. And what you're doing is you're sort of exploring these different areas in the day, and you've got to try and A, find the captain, which is the main course of the game, or B, find other lost people from the captain's like crew, or other people who have come down apparently looking for the captain on this planet. Okay, for some reason they don't really explain, but it's fine, doesn't really matter. And while you're doing that, you're trying to also find treasures which can help power up your ship, and then the more powerful your ship is, the more it unlocks different areas for you to explore. So when you're exploring, you can get of course, you've got little Pikmin that you bring along with you, and you sort of unlock different colored Pikmin as you go further through the game. Like, I think I just unlocked the blue ones, which are able to, they all do different things. So like the blue ones I just got can go underwater and they can walk through water, whereas the rest of Pikmin, water, they freak the fuck out, they can die on that. You got the yellow ones, they can break down electricity bars. They don't get shocked by stuff the rest would, all this sort of stuff. And at all points, you've got the GOAT of the game, one of the best characters in all video games this year, the little dog called Ochi, who is adorable at all times. Not only can you ride Ochi, but you can command him to do things. He can attack creatures for you. He can carry things. He can sniff out treasures. This dog does it all. And much like I have a bunch of video clips of Mickey Mouse stuff on my game, on my Switch, that I have no idea what I've got them for, I have a million screenshots of Ochi from different angles and stuff like that, where I go, look at me posing with Ochi. We're just chilling out here. I haven't shared any of them anywhere. I don't know why I take so many screenshots sometimes. I just fuck it. There's a button. I click it. Yeah, it's just so, like, I feel like that thing, like, I always thought of Pikmin as a lot more of a hardcore tactics game whenever I saw screenshots of the earlier ones. But like, it's just not that. Like, it's sort of chill fun. You have like the overworld levels where like you're exploring like a garden area or whatever else, and like the puzzle element is like, I should probably oh, there's a thing up there. How do I get it? It's like, oh, I should use this particular Pikmin because I'll probably be able to freeze the water, and then I can go across it and then use this off it. Like it's pretty like A to B sort of stuff. The harder stuff, and by harder I mean it's still not very hard, but they've got you'll find like these pipes, and then when you go down into the pipes, you go into like these underground areas which are more actually handcrafted in what I take as maybe a more typical Pikmin level layout, where it's like you're actually walking backwards and forwards, like working out how to collect everything, and it'll tell you like, have you 100% found all the secrets in this area before you move on to before you leave the level, and all this sort of stuff as you come in and out of those. And of course, I don't want to leave. I'll never, like, I'll be at 75% and I'll be like, what the fuck? Like, where's the last hidden thing in this level? So I just want to 100% everything as I'm going. Having fun doing that. And then when it hits so as you play for it, you get to play each day. I'm up to like, I don't know, day 12, I don't know, but as you play each day, the timer moves and eventually hits nighttime. When it hits nighttime, you've got to come back to base, and then it goes to the next day. And then in the morning, before you head out, you can talk to all the characters you've saved that are around your ship. And you've got one that like can help you train Ochi. You can like get him new abilities so he can like attack better, go fast. I don't know, like I'm sure they'll unlock more as I go through the game. You've got another one who can like do tech upgrades, so you can buy stuff that helps you, like a drone to explore areas, or like if you tell a bunch of Pikmin to, like, if you send them out and have them go grab an object, like a treasure, like the aforementioned Game Boy SP, and they begin carrying it back to your like ship thing that just also sucks things up and turns them miniature, apparently, somehow. The Pikmin will all just stay there once that job's done, which is sort of annoying because if you need them, you need to run back through halfway through the level to go get them, the rest of them back. But then you can also build an upgrade that allows you, or you can buy an upgrade that allows Ochi to be able to like whistle and get all the Pikmin to come to you. So like you can unlock them things as you go along. There's other characters you can talk to at the base who like have a like sort of a Pokédex of treasures you've found and monsters you've come across. Like there's all these little integrated elements and stuff like that. But it's just pretty chill. Like I've been like, there is combat, but it's not like hard. It's literally like, oh, there's an enemy there and it's in the sky. Like there was like what I would take as a mini boss I did earlier today. There's like this jellyfish thing in the sky that had like a trapped person inside of it that I had to get. And I threw all the Pikmin at it that I had, and then it just sucked them all up. And next second they all died. I was like, oh, that's fucked. Like I don't really want to deal with this. So there has a handy feature where you can pause and like rewind time a bit. And because this was in one of the little mini dungeon things, it's like rewind to just like as you entered this level. I was like, yeah, that's fine. So just rewind me back, got all my Pikmin back as I entered the level. But this time I was like, wait, so maybe don't just spam A and chuck all my Pikmin at it. I was like, oh, I should probably freeze it first. So then like you switch over to the ice Pikmin, throw all my ice Pikmin at it first. They freeze it. It drops to the ground, dies instantly because it's a fucking ice cube that dropped from the sky and just crashes into a million pieces. So before, where I was like trying to kill it and its health was going down super slowly, and then by the time I was trying to kill it, it just killed all my Pikmin. Once you figure out what to do, it's just the boss fight's over in like 2 seconds. So it's like that. Like it's not super hard to figure out. You just have to take a second to, and you're like, oh, now I feel smart. I did the things. But yeah, it's just a very charming game. So I'm having a lot of fun playing Pikmin at the moment, especially as someone who's never played one in a franchise. So, and it's weird. I was looking up. I don't know if I missed it. Maybe there was more stuff going on that week. But I was like, when did the Pikmin reviews come out? And I went and looked at them and I was like, oh yeah, like all the reviews are good. Maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention. I don't remember what else that we had going on that week, but I don't recall seeing that much, or at least on my social media, about Pikmin. Do you remember seeing much about Pikmin when it dropped? Because the game's apparently killing it in Japan. Like I saw Japan numbers today.
I mean,
really,
that's
really
not
well.
surprising. I feel like Pikmin has always been a very Japanese game. So, yeah, I hadn't seen much about Pikmin. Obviously, like diehard fans like we're talking about it, but then I feel like social media went to shit when it came out. So
maybe that's part of the problem. Yeah,
I feel like that was like a massive thing. So
yeah. But now all of a sudden I'm like, if I see an Ochi fucking amiibo or something, I'm done. Like, and there probably is one, and that's a problem. Because have you seen this Best Boy? You remember this Best Boy from the trailers?
yes, it's a dog.
It's a fucking good dog, though. It's something, I don't know what it, like in action. I'm falling in love with this dog, Ash. I'm telling you. It's my best friend. You know? You know what I mean? My best friend. Oh, the other weird thing in this game, before we move on, I don't know if this is just going to be explained further in the game. It happened to me twice so far. There's this other character who looks like whatever you are, like a space person thing, and they have their own Ochi-like dog that's like a different color, but it's an evil one. And then like every time I've come across them, they've dived into a pipe. And then when you go into the pipe, they're like, we're going to do battle to you. And like the battles are, you've just got to try and get more points with them by like collecting stuff in this level faster. Like, which I presume is what the multiplayer in this game is, like this 1v1 sort of stuff. But I'm like, why is there like an evil Ochi? And it's like literally like, let's just take the dog and make it the opposite colors and it frowns instead of smiles. And I'm like, this is sure, whatever. It's fine. Nintendo, do your thing then today, you know. So yeah, I don't know. Between like, there's two good games. Here's my thing: Dave the Diver, very good game. Pikmin 4, very very good game. Disney Illusion Island, no. Final Fantasy 16, no. Right. I told you two good games to play. You can play one on the ROG deck. You can play one on the Switch. Everything's handheld now. What do you want to play in PS5? Fuck if I know. It's not Final Fantasy 16. What do you want? Yeah? What do you got?
WrestleQuest comes out in a couple weeks.
WrestleQuest comes out in a couple of weeks. That's a good point. And that can be played on any of the platforms we just mentioned, as well as the PS5. So,
do you want to know what was installing on my laptop today?
What was installing on your laptop today?
Baldur's Gate 3.
Are you going to wait, though? Like, you're going to play it ahead of the coming out of early access?
No, I'm installing like the base. I assume it will just be an update, right?
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point.
Yeah, so.
Because I, too, said I want to try the Baldur's Gates of the 3s. I don't know if I'm ever going to have enough time to... I don't know, maybe, unless I fall in love head over heels or something. But
yeah,
I definitely don't care to play it until the full launch. Like,
yeah, but that's like next week, so...
Yeah, when is it? Like next
the
Thursday?
3rd?
The 3rd. Yeah, Thursday. Okay, yeah. All right, well, that's something I presume we'll be talking about next week, hopefully. And Kieran should hopefully be here, because if he's not here to talk about it, then the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
In his life. I don't know. All right, that'll do it for this week's episode. Let us know any comments, concerns you've had about the show. I think I just died. You can follow us on X by heading to explosionnetwork.com/Twitter. And you can join our Discord by heading to explosionnetwork.com/Discord. Come talk to us over there about anything you'd like. And if you like this episode and thought it was worth $1 or less or more, head to our Ko-fi page, explosionnetwork.com/support to buy us a coffee. And until next week, same time, same couch. Goodbye.